So speaking off of episode 1 of Safeguarding Your Salon Business, we are going to now talk about today how to foster these relationships with our team and being a good leader as such in this time of chaos and struggle. I'm Rebecca Gregory, Vice President of Education. Joining with me today, Wayne Lewis with Original and Mineral. I believe that right now it's going to be super important for us as leaders of our salons to stay in touch with our community and our team more than anything, because as we continue to go through this together, we need to remember to continue to foster those relationships that we have with our team as well as our clients. And at this point, as we well know, creatives are not good with idle time. So keeping the imagination from soaring into all of these places that can be dark right now, keeping them lit up in respects for the energy and the flow, because we can continue this communication from home as we're social distancing ourselves from one another. And you may have had to close your doors at the salon at this point. So we thought we'd get together and speak with you today on some ideas we have to keep the inspiration going with your team, and some ideas for that being keeping in touch, because during these next weeks or days and whatever this takes as a nation and a world that we live in, to stay in touch with them, possibly doing some Facebook meetings, some live chats with them, coming up with, let's say, the WhatsApp or the group me's that we have on our phones, so that we can continue to stay in touch daily with our groups and our teams as they're home with their families. We are the families, we work together daily, we're very close. It's a service industry that we feel very tight-knit with our teams, and so keeping that going, and rest assured that they're going to be enjoying and appreciating us more than ever as a good lead.
Teamwork is super important, so now it's really super important that we keep together our teams, our people, and keep open lines of communication, whether it be with our staff and or whether it be with our clients or our guests, because that's what's going to make our business boom after all this settles down, and it is going to settle down. So one of the key things I wanted to talk about was making sure that you touch base with, for example, clients that are having birthdays. This is going to be a time when a lot of people forget things or feel like things are pushed to the side. If you know a client's birthday, if you've got their client records at home, why not send them a birthday wish? They are going to appreciate that. Keeping up with things like that makes such a difference. If clients have appointments booked, let them know that obviously they're not going to be able to come in, but you're going to look after them as soon as they are able to come back in. If you have clients that come in on a weekly basis, these people love seeing you. They look forward to their visits with you. So make sure a little phone call, a text, a message is going to keep that flowing through. People love to feel like they're needed, that they're part of your tribe or part of your group. And lastly, one thing I really wanted to touch on was making sure that you look after staff, especially in these times where we're used to looking after people all the time, and working in teams, working in groups. If people are isolated, they may start to go a little stir crazy. They may need that little interaction. So message these people, because we're looking after their health, but we're also looking after their mental health.
True, and so also inspiring them to start posting some of their old work, bring it back. So we're inspiring, let's put some beautiful hair on there, keeping that going too. So have them repost their work. Your stylists will love that idea, and they need to be inspired again and inspiring their clientele and whatnot. So it's not such doom and gloom that they're watching on social media, but it's something inspirational. Yep, so, exactly. So make sure you keep in touch with them. Do the WhatsApp, do the group me for your team, so that everybody's aware of what's going on day to day. And I had some ideas too of what we can do. We could have wellness meetings in the mornings. Every day that they would typically work, start with a wellness morning. So it can be anything from let's join each other for coffee and just chit chat, check in with them, see how the family is doing, give them ideas of what you're doing. I was gardening, or I started some new seedlings that I happen to have, or doing any of those little projects that they've already started at home, but we never get time at home. We're always in the hustle and the bustle of the salon, but sharing those ideas of what they're doing. Maybe they're starting a new art project to keep their flow going. And so doing all of those things and having wellness meetings with your team. I like to do wellness meetings with our team at the office, and so at our studio, what we'll start our day with a lot of times is just a simple self-love massage. And you can ask your salon team to do this with you. So it's super simple. All you have to do is take a deep breath, And exhale. And now you're going to cover your eyes, around your eye sockets, and just light pressure. Continuing to breathe in and out. And then circling around to the temples, giving yourself a light temple massage. And going around the ears all the way down through where that sinus pressure typically would be. And then at the base of the neck, giving yourself a small little massage. And then coming back down around the shoulders, giving yourself a little shoulder massage and following through into the heart. Deeply breathe in and out. Doing that a couple of times a day on yourself will awaken you, make you feel calm, because there's so much energy on the news and what's going on. And that's important, of course, to stay focused on what we need to do day by day. But taking those little breaks, because it can overload your body. Mentally, you'll feel exhausted, and you just want to decrease any stress along your team. So doing that together is one way that you can look after your clients and your team as well, and keeping those relationships super engaged.
If you're in a house full of people, do it together. What would be a better way to sort of like start the day? Keep your routine regular. Do little things like this. It is going to make such a difference. And just touching base on what we'd said before, what Rebecca had mentioned, is if you're in a house full of people, everybody is going to want to have their hair done. Why not start filming that? Why not do somebody's hair? It might not be coloured, but then you can certainly make it look styled, do something different. People want to see what you're doing. It's interactive, and it's just going to put it out there. It's also going to touch somebody's life. It's going to let you keep in contact with people. And even if you don't think it's a great thing, just put it up there. Let people see what you're doing so that you feel like you're all part of the same community.
One thing too, to keep the stress down with your team, consider as you're working through your financials at home, maybe cutting back on little things that you can, so that when they come back, you could tell them you're going to give them a 5% commission increase. You can find that 5% somewhere by just decreasing some costs here and there of things you can. We obviously have to have product. We obviously have to have our rent paid and our utilities. But what are the little things that you could cut back on so that you can give your team an additional 5% when they come back to the salon, and now they feel comfortable? Okay, my team leader really looks after us. So I don't have to stress these 2 weeks. I can get some things done that I never would. I can focus on myself and focus on what I want when on the end of this, because it will end. We will not always be in this state, but we will come out of this thriving and looking after our people so that they can say, okay, I know that I'll get 5%. I'm getting a raise after this, and how we can do that. My owner looks after me at the salon and really cares about me, because you're going to be packed. And when we get back in those salons, it's going to be full throttle, I promise you. So at this point, what can we do? Look after yourselves. Get up in the morning, get your coffee, express yourself with meditation, whatever the case may be. But then recouping that money later is going to be fast paced. So we need to have our minds together, and our wellness is key, obviously, mentally, physically. One thing I saw out there that was very interesting, I think you mentioned it, was having that Venmo address on your social media, so that, for example, a lot of people are wanting to still pay for their salon visit and still know that they're going to be seen as soon as you're back to business. And so you could put your stylist Venmo accounts on there, so if they want to prepay or even pre-tip, doing that, getting gift cards out there for this as well. So you can be taking in money for future services, maybe coming up with some sort of cute idea and sending out Remedy hand balm or the Voluto for the lips, things of that, and keep those going out, but then maybe gift cards with those as well.
Think outside the box. That's the most important thing that we have to start to do now, because we don't know what is going to happen. Look, it's a lot of doom and gloom, but then you also have to remember, as hairdressers, we face a lot of stuff every day, clients telling us stuff, and it's like, oh Lord, that's a lot going on. But what we have to do is really sort of like look at what's going to happen and make it sort of like positive, because people are looking towards us for some positivity, for sort of like, because they're all going, oh, it's so bad for you. It is bad for us, but we can only do so much of saying, yeah, it's bad, until we finally just go, you know what, this is going to end and we're going to come out of this differently. So really look at sort of like the positive in some respects. One key thing, get dressed every day. Even though you're at home, don't stay in your pajamas all day. That's going to make such a difference, because it then makes it feel like, okay, I am actually doing something. And I think that's the thing that we have to do, is really make sure that we look after ourselves there. One thing that is coming up that I think is super important for everybody too is we are going to have Jessica, who looks after our online program. So that's where people can actually do sort of like retailing at home. All of our clients can do the online system, and Jessica's actually going to come on next week and actually talk people through that and direct and guide you how you can do that in Salon, so that you're actually making money when you're not in the salon.
It's our partner program, and so our partner program allows you to continue to make money from home.
Yep.
If you do cute little engagements with your clients, reposting your work, reminding them what you worked with and how you did it, you know, if they have mannequins at home or their sister or brother sitting there, have them do hair online and talk about what they've used, and then tie it into your partner link, you know, so that you can keep making that money, because people will buy as long as they can, and we will shine through this. Ultimately, we will shine through this. Stylists always do. So
we've got stock in the warehouse, we've got stock on the sea, so we are actually able to sort of like provide all these needs as well. So things are not that bad. Things are positive, and it's, you know, there's lots of ways we can work around this.
As you're doing these daily meetings, let's say with your team, you could just go right into it and do like a Fight the Fear worksheet. We have that downloadable for you. We've created it so that you can kind of walk them through this. The current situation is based off of a lot of fear of the unknown. So this worksheet walks them through the current situation, how they're feeling about it, what they hope will happen after this crisis is over, and how to go through and give them a strategy of fighting this fear, so that their emotional well-being is looked after by you too. So we've got this worksheet that you can download and work with your team. It's one idea for a meeting that you can have remote and keep them aware that you're with them 100%. So that's one idea we had as well.
It's the perfect strategy to move ahead.
So stay tuned, because we're going to share a lot of ways to profit through this, and how we're going to work together to stay positive, and how we're going to thrive on the other end of this, because out of every catastrophe, something great can come out of it. And that's what we're going to be here to support you, nurture you along the way, so that we are back together soon, shining on.